Go ahead, one by one, please read.
On 7th May 2020, a major leakage of styrene gas was reported from the plastics manufacturing plant LG Polymers located on the outskirts of the Visakhapatnam city. The accident took place when the cooling system of polymers plants get closed due to the mismanagement of factory workers and resulted in turning the city into a gas chamber. The gas was leaked with styrene gas, which was hazardous chemical under Rule 2E plus 583 of Schedule 1 of Manufacture, Storage and Import of Hazardous Chemical Rule 1989.
Okay, good. Next, who was next?
Principle 1. Polluter pays principle. The doctrine of polluter pays is a well-established principle of environmental law, which places an obligation of compensating the damage to the people who ought to reimburse it and also have the capacity to disperse it. The principle explicitly affirms that the person who damaged or destructs the environment has the absolute obligation to bear the cost of ameliorating the environment. In Enviro Legal Action versus Union of State case, the Apex Court of India held that polluter is legally responsible to reimburse the individual suffers as well as pay the revitalization of the damaged environment.
Principle 2. Principle of strict liability. The principle of strict liability was established in the year 1868 in the case of Rylands versus Fletcher, where the court held that any person who uses his/her land in an unnatural manner and who keeps any hazardous substance on such premises would be held liable under the principle of strict liability for any damage occurred on the escape of such perilous substance. However, the person is liable only when there is non-natural use of land. The principle also restricts liability when the escape is due to an act of strangers, act of God. For example, a natural calamity due to the person injured or when it happens with the consent of the person injured or with statutory authority.
Principle of absolute liability. The absolute liability is a stringent form of strict liability as it is devoid of any exceptions that were mentioned under the earlier principle. For the first time in the case of MC Mehta versus Union of India, this principle implies that whenever an enterprise is engaged in any dangerous or hazardous activity that threatens the people working in the enterprise and those living nearby, it owes an absolute and non-delegable duty to community that no harm will be caused. If harm is indeed caused, the enterprise will have to compensate for damages and can't use exceptions provided in the case of strict liability. The enterprise can't claim that the harm has not been caused due to negligence, absence of due care, or that it had taken all responsible precautions.
No. Fine. The first passage, the first paragraph obviously is giving you a factual situation. It is saying that there was a leak of a styrene gas, okay, from one particular plant. Okay, styrene gas has been called as hazardous chemical. Okay, now, as you all know that you are not supposed to have any, prior outside knowledge, legal knowledge from beforehand, but you are supposed to have some general knowledge of the legal concepts of law, which you have been taught in your classes of tort, contract, criminal law, things like this. Okay. Now, one of the most basic principles of tort law is what? Strict liability, absolute liability, right? MC Mehta case, oleum gas leak, okay, Union Carbide, things like this. Okay. Absolute liability is only found in 3 countries in the world. That's Canada, Australia, and India. Okay. It's a very, very rare concept. Polluter pays principle is obviously like if somebody throws a banana peel on the middle of the road, who is liable to pick it up? Is it the municipal corporation that should come and clean the road just because it's a public road? No, the person who threw it on the road, that person is supposed to pick it up. That's why there's a fine for littering, isn't it? Otherwise, there would not be a fine for any littering. If I throw a wrapper on the road, if I throw a chocolate a wrapper on the road, a banana peel on the road, that should not incur any liability for me if it was the job of government to send the sweeper to clean the road. No, it is my civic duty as a citizen of the country not to litter on the road, isn't it? Similarly, polluter pays principle. The one who pollutes, that's the one who pays. Now, students said, sir, how they gave such a complicated concept in the, is it really that complicated? Polluter pays. If you are the polluter, you pay. If you throw the peel on the road, you pick it up. It's as simple as that. I don't think you need to have any kind of prior knowledge of law for it. Okay. Neither is it required and neither is it very, very tough. Okay. Basically, in this case, like it's the same example of like, you know, if I have a vicious dog, okay, and that dog attacks somebody, obviously I'm liable. Okay. If I have a gun in my desk drawer and somebody takes it and you know, a child takes that gun and while playing with it shoots themselves, I will say, it's, who told that child to open my drawer? It's my personal property. But then who told me to keep a loaded gun in the drawer? It's a dangerous good. I should have locked it up in some kind of safe, right? Absolute liability is something which goes up even beyond. Okay, so MC Mehta would then be Shrishti. Okay. Absolute liability is something that goes even beyond strict liability, because strict liability, there are some exceptions. Exceptions being, for example, something like a third party, something which has been done by third party. It's not my fault. Okay. But in a case of absolute liability, you can't even take that defense. Okay. Act of God, these kind of things. Okay. So suppose like there was a kind of, you know, fire, you know, which led to the burning down of factory, and that led to the release of the waste chemicals and stuff. If it was a country where there was no absolute liability, then they could escape by saying in strict liability there is no act of God which is creating liability. But in India, since you have absolute liability, it's a nothing doing. It doesn't matter if it's act of God, still you are liable. Okay. Union Carbide case. Union Carbide case, also known as the Bhopal gas tragedy case, ultimately was when there was a disgruntled employee. Disgruntled means unsatisfied employee who had been fired. Okay, so the employee was fired because he was upset about being fired. He came again at night, illegally crossed the boundaries, opened that gas tank and left, because of which the gas escaped. It wasn't the fault of the company or any, you know, kind of what to say, negligence on their part. It was totally fault of third party. So if it was strict liability, they would not have been liable. But because it was absolute liability, they were liable.
So question 76 says, under which of the following principles will the company LG Polymer be liable? So I think it will be liable under all the three principles, that is strict liability, absolute liability, and the polluter pays principle. Because on reading the passages, all the three principles, it is very clear that they are liable under the three principles.
Yeah, so I agree that there's not much need for an explanation here. I think it's very, very obvious. Polluter pays because they polluted, so they have to pay. Strict liability because there was a dangerous substance which they had to leak. And absolute liability because there is no exception. If it's strict liability and there is no exception, automatically it means it's absolute. Doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Next, 77.
So the answer should be B, because as per polluter's pay principle, it is stated that the polluter is legally responsible to reimburse the individual sufferers as well as pay for the revitalization of damaged environment.
Certainly, both, like, you know, in any IPC, you have got like for any offense, you say something like they shall be liable to 3 years of imprisonment or fine up to 50,000 rupees or both, right? So here it is clearly mentioned that it will be both, not this or that, but rather both. Okay. Now, 78.
So the answer will be, because the question says that the chemical plant city is in the Azad Nagar due to an earthquake. And here in principle 2 of strict liability says that the person is liable only when there is a non-natural use of land. The principle restricts the liability escape due to the act of stranger, act of God, and an example a natural calamity. So it is a strict liability in part 2. And further in question it says that resulting in a gas leakage. If there is a gas leakage, there may be an environment polluted.
Certainly.
So it's a part 1 also.
Certainly. So of course they can be held liable for polluter pays. They can be held liable for absolute liability, but they cannot be held liable for strict liability because it is an earthquake. Earthquake is act of God, and act of God is exempt from strict liability. Then why will it be absolute liability? Because there is no exception in absolute liability, which is therefore strict liability. So the same exception that is act of God, which was applicable in strict liability, will not be applicable in absolute liability. That's why it will be polluter pays and absolute liability, but it will not be strict liability. Okay, clear? Good. Next, 79. Mimansha, go ahead. Chahat, you will get the next one. Okay?
Sir, option C is correct because they have stored styrene gas and it is very dangerous. So they cannot say that they didn't know that that this will leak. So option C is correct.
Right. It is very clearly stated in the passage over here that styrene gas is a hazardous chemical. So it's a dangerous good. This much you have to apply your own brain, right? So if it's a dangerous good, then obviously you cannot use the argument that it will not leak, okay? Because it is liable to escape. Any gas, it's liable to escape, right? And later on, you cannot say that, you know, I did not know, because in the principle of strict liability, it doesn't matter if you knew or not, right? Negligence doesn't matter. Ultimately, whatever matters is what happened. And what happened is that there was a leak and there was damage which occurred. So they will be liable. All right. Fine. Next, finally, 80th question. Okay. Please raise your hand. Who wants to try? Okay. Since this last question, fine. Chahat, you can go ahead.
Sir, the answer will be C. That on reading the options, we will find that reading the passage, we will find that no human lives have gone due to the pesticide leakage, and obviously the environment harm has been caused. So the company would be liable on polluter pays principle, but on the inquiry, it will be decided about the strict and absolute liability.
Now, the question is basically saying that they're giving a fact situation, they're giving a problem. They are saying that there was a factory in a particular city, and due to some negligence of the staff, there was a leakage of the gas. Okay. Because of which many of the pests and insects and things were killed. There was no harm to people, but there was a harm to the AQI, the quality of the air quality index. Okay. Now, what will it be? Obviously, the fact has not been mentioned whether that pesticide was hazardous substance or not. You can't assume that just because it is pesticide, it was hazardous. Maybe it was a herbal pesticide, right? Maybe that pesticide was classified as not hazardous by the government of India. You cannot assume such kind of things. Okay. So number one, the liability can only be decided once you have declared it to be hazardous. Assuming it has been declared to be hazardous, it will fall under strict liability and absolute liability both. Why strict liability? Because the employee, because the person who leaked was employee. If the person who leaked was not employee, it would not have been strict liability. It would only have been absolute liability, because that is one of the exceptions to strict liability, isn't it? But in either case, whether it is hazardous or not hazardous, fact remains that AQI has been lowered, right? So therefore, the polluter pays principle will still apply. Therefore, the answer is C. Okay.